The internet is on fire right now, because 6ix9ine just did something no one thought he'd ever do. After years of silence, sneak disses, and subliminal shots, he's come out swinging. And this time, Fat Joe's name is right in the middle of the storm. Late last night, 6ix9ine dropped a series of screenshots, voice notes, and private messages that allegedly expose Fat Joe for lying about their past beef, and the hip-hop world is in total disbelief. Fans are calling it one of the wildest clapbacks of the year, claiming 6ix9ine might have just ended Fat Joe's credibility for good. What's even crazier is that Fat Joe has always positioned himself as the OG, the one who keeps it real and calls out fake energy in the game. But now, with 6ix9ine putting these so-called receipts out in public, people are starting to question everything. Did Fat Joe really cross the line? Or did 6ix9ine just play the internet perfectly once again? From interviews, DMs, to behind-the-scenes secrets that were never supposed to go public, the truth is spilling out fast. And for once, even Fat Joe's loyal fans are speechless. Stay locked in, because what 6ix9ine just revealed could change how everyone sees this beef forever. The moment 6ix9ine hit post, the entire hip-hop internet stopped. Screens lit up, notifications exploded, and before anyone could process what was happening, his screenshots started spreading like wildfire. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. Private conversations, old texts, and even clips from unreleased interviews that seemed to paint a very different picture of Fat Joe than the one the public had known for years. For a long time, Fat Joe had built his image as a straight shooter, an OG who never backed down, never switched sides, and always kept it real. In interviews, he spoke like a mentor to the new generation, warning them about the pitfalls of fame and betrayal. But according to 6ix9ine, that same OG energy was nothing but a front. In his words, Joe wasn't mentoring anyone. He was manipulating the narrative. 6ix9ine's first post was a bombshell, a screenshot of an alleged message exchange from years back, where Joe supposedly praised him privately, calling him the hottest young artist in New York, and even offered to collaborate. But that same year, Fat Joe went public calling 6ix9ine a snitch and the most dangerous man in hip-hop. The contradiction was too sharp to ignore. Fans instantly dug up the interview clip and put it side by side with the leaked message. The comment sections filled with chaos. "Caught in 4K," one user wrote. He switched up quick when the cameras turned on. It wasn't just the messages either. 6ix9ine posted a video clip that allegedly showed Fat Joe backstage during an event, being friendly, laughing, even taking pictures with him. The clip wasn't new, but the context was. At the time, Joe claimed he never associated with 6ix9ine, saying he didn't respect that man's choices. Now, fans were watching receipts that told a completely different story. It was hypocrisy exposed in real time, and the internet couldn't get enough. For 6ix9ine, this wasn't just a random rant. It was personal. He's always felt targeted by the hip-hop establishment, constantly portrayed as the outsider, the clown, the one who didn't belong. And Fat Joe had been one of the loudest critics. 6ix9ine made it clear in his post that this was payback for years of disrespect. "All these fake OGs talk down on my name," he wrote, "but behind closed doors they show love. I'm done playing nice." Within hours, major platforms picked it up. The Shade Room, Academics, and No Jumper all reposted the story. The hashtag #FatJoeExposed started trending. Fans started taking sides, some cheering for 6ix9ine for finally clapping back, others calling it another publicity stunt. But even the haters had to admit, the timing, the evidence, and the precision were perfect. This wasn't an emotional outburst. It was a calculated move. Behind the scenes, industry insiders began whispering. Some said Fat Joe had been warned that 6ix9ine had stuff on him. Others claimed Joe had been trying to bury rumors for months, worried about something resurfacing. Either way, the damage was done. Every podcast and panel show that had ever mentioned both of them was now revisiting the topic, replaying old interviews where Joe threw shade, analyzing every line. The narrative had flipped overnight. 6ix9ine didn't stop there. He uploaded another clip, this time an audio recording of what sounded like a conversation between Joe and a mutual associate, where Joe allegedly admitted he thought 6ix9ine was smart for milking controversy. Whether the recording was authentic or not didn't even matter. Fans ran with it. The comments were brutal. "Joe really thought he could talk down on 6ix9ine and nobody would notice," one fan said. "Now look at him." Fat Joe's response at first was silence. He didn't post. He didn't tweet. Nothing. For someone who's usually outspoken, his quietness spoke volumes. People started speculating that he was in damage control mode. Some believed he was trying to confirm whether the receipts were real. Others said he was hoping it would blow over. But 6ix9ine knew exactly what he was doing. Every hour Joe stayed silent, the story grew bigger. Every influencer who reposted the receipts gave 6ix9ine more power. Meanwhile, the media twisted the knife deeper. Blogs began running with headlines like Fat Joe's legacy questioned after leaking 6ix9ine DMs, and is Fat Joe another fake OG? The public loved the irony. The old-school rapper known for calling others out was now being called out himself. Fans started going back through old footage, piecing together a pattern. Times when Fat Joe dismissed 6ix9ine on camera, moments where he hesitated when asked about working with new artists, small details that suddenly looked like signs of jealousy or insecurity. "Joe has been hating me since day one," someone commented under a repost. He saw that rainbow hair kid blowing up and couldn't handle it. For 6ix9ine, this was redemption. Not just for the beef, but for his reputation. He used this moment to remind everyone that while the industry turned their backs on him, he never stopped being relevant. Every time they tried to cancel him, he came back louder. "Y'all can't erase me," he wrote in one of his captions. "They all talk about me, but I'm still here." And the truth was, he was right. The numbers didn't lie. Within 24 hours of the posts, his engagement skyrocketed. Millions of views, thousands of new followers, and his name trending on every major platform. Even his old songs started climbing back up streaming charts just off the buzz. The chaos had turned into currency, but deep down, this wasn't just about clout. It was about validation. For years, 6ix9ine had been painted as the villain, the one who betrayed the code. But with these receipts, he was flipping the narrative. He wanted people to see that even the so-called real ones weren't as real as they claimed. He wanted to prove that in an industry built on image and ego, no one was innocent. As the dust began to settle, Fat Joe finally made a brief statement. On a live stream, he brushed off the drama, saying, "I don't have time for clowns. I wish him the best, but I don't play internet games." His tone was calm, but his eyes told a different story. You could hear the frustration behind the professionalism. Fans noticed it immediately. The comments section is filled with clown emojis, snake emojis, and endless reposts of the screenshots. The power dynamic had shifted. For the first time in a long time, Fat Joe looked cornered. And 6ix9ine knew it. He even taunted him in another story, saying, "Now you want to play humble? You should have kept that same energy when you were talking slick." It was more than beef. It was a statement that no matter how powerful your reputation is in the age of receipts, no one's untouchable. And 6ix9ine had just reminded the world that even legends can get exposed. The morning after 6ix9ine's explosive posts, hip-hop media was drowning in chaos. Every podcast, every influencer, and every gossip page had one topic: Fat Joe versus 6ix9ine. What started as a few screenshots had now turned into a full-blown war of credibility. Clips from old interviews resurfaced, edited side by side with 6ix9ine's so-called proof, and fans were watching them like episodes of a drama series. The internet doesn't sleep, and neither did 6ix9ine. He doubled down, posting more evidence. This time, a voice memo of a conversation between him and a mutual industry contact allegedly talking about Joe's behind-the-scenes behavior. In the clip, a voice claimed that Fat Joe would talk peace in public but throw shots behind closed doors. Whether the recording was legit or not didn't matter anymore. People were already convinced something shady was going on. That's the thing about the digital world. Once people see something, it becomes real in their minds. The receipts didn't even need to be proven. The drama itself was enough to damage Joe's reputation. Fans flooded his comment section, tagging him under every post, demanding he clear it up. But instead of fighting back instantly, Joe stayed quiet again. That silence made everything worse. 6ix9ine used it to his full advantage. He went live on Instagram, pacing around, smirking, and clowning Joe's OG act. He laughed, saying, "These old heads are preaching about loyalty, but they are the biggest snakes in the room. I don't gotta make this up. The proof is there. Y'all saw it. Within minutes, over 100,000 people were watching. Comments flew by so fast they blurred the screen. Some were hyping 6ix9ine up, calling him the Internet King, while others warned him he was poking at a legend. But for 6ix9ine, it didn't matter. He thrives on chaos. Every viral moment feeds his brand. And this one was burning hotter than anything he'd dropped in months. Meanwhile, Fat Joe's team started scrambling. Publicists were contacting outlets. trying to control the narrative. Sources close to Joe claimed that the screenshots were edited and taken out of context. But the problem was, no one cared about context anymore. The receipts looked real enough, and 6ix9ine's confidence made it believable. When the audience feels entertained, the truth becomes irrelevant. Behind the scenes, other rappers started reacting too. Some of Joe's longtime friends stayed silent, not wanting to get caught in the crossfire. Others posted cryptic messages. Things like, "Ain't nobody safe when clout chasing goes wrong," or "The internet got no loyalty." But a few, surprisingly, sided with 6ix9ine, saying Joe had been talking slick for too long and finally got checked. That shift shocked everyone. Fat Joe, once untouchable in the hip-hop community, was suddenly being questioned. The idea that someone like him, respected, connected, and decades deep in the game, could get publicly embarrassed by 6ix9ine felt surreal. Yet here it was, playing out in real time for millions to see. After 2 full days of silence, Fat Joe finally broke his silence. He went live from his studio sitting behind a microphone, his tone calm but sharp. "Listen," he said, "I've been in this game longer than some of these kids been alive. I ain't never had to prove myself to no clown for the internet. I don't do drama. I do facts." He denied everything, saying 6ix9ine's posts were fake energy and desperate attempts to stay relevant. But instead of putting out the fire, Joe's response just poured gasoline on it. The internet roasted his live. "Defensive much?" one user commented. He didn't deny the messages, though, another wrote. And just like that, the story took another twist. i9 instantly clipped Joe's response and uploaded it with the caption, "Old head finally speaking, but still lying." He added a few laughing emojis and reposted fan edits mocking Joe's statement. Within hours, 6ix9ine's post had more engagement than Joe's entire live. The narrative had escaped Joe's control completely. Then came the breaking point. A viral video surfaced from an old interview that no one paid attention to before. In it, Joe hinted that he once tried to mentor 6ix9ine before things went south. Fans connected the dots with the leaked screenshots and began saying Joe's anger wasn't about principle, it was about betrayal. They claimed Joe wanted to control 6ix9ine's image, and when 6ix9ine refused, Joe turned against him publicly. Whether true or not, it was the perfect storyline for social media to devour. Major YouTubers jumped in with reaction videos, dissecting every word, every clip, every caption. TikTok was flooded with short edits, dramatic music, bold text overlays, and side-by-side clips of Joe and 6ix9ine. Even casual fans who didn't care about rap started following the saga just for entertainment. The numbers were wild. 6ix9ine's follower count jumped by 500,000 in less than a week. His older music videos started trending again, and he teased something big coming soon. Fans speculated it might be a diss track aimed straight at Fat Joe. Others thought he was planning a podcast appearance to tell his side in full detail. Either way, the hype was snowballing. On the other hand, Fat Joe was feeling the heat. Brands began pulling back from his promotional deals temporarily, not wanting to be caught in online drama. Industry insiders whispered that his PR team was in panic mode, trying to repair the image damage. Joe started posting motivational quotes and pictures of his family, trying to shift the focus. But every time he posted something positive, fans flooded his comments with clown emojis and receipt memes. That's the power of the internet. Once the crowd turns, it's hard to win them back. Joe was learning that lesson the hard way. He'd built his legacy on authenticity, but now, even that was being questioned. And the worst part? 6ix9ine wasn't done yet. On the third night, 6ix9ine posted a short video, just 20 seconds long, showing a close-up of what looked like a new message thread. With the caption, "Should I drop part 2?" It broke the internet instantly. Fans begged him to post more, while others said he was dragging it out for clout. But 6ix9ine knew exactly what he was doing. By teasing the next move, he kept the spotlight locked on him. And Fat Joe trapped in silence. That silence was heavy. Behind the scenes, Fat Joe's inner circle advised him not to respond again. "Anything you say will feed the fire," they told him. But Joe wasn't built to stay quiet. His pride wouldn't let him. He started calling around, talking to DJs, trying to explain his side privately. But the truth was, the damage had already been done in public. What made this moment even wilder was that 6ix9ine had turned the tables completely. For years, he was the one getting laughed at, the one being called fake, the one the whole culture dismissed. But now, for the first time, he had the upper hand. He had managed to take down a respected name, not through violence, not through a diss track, but through manipulation of attention, something he's mastered better than anyone else in the industry. And as the sun set on that chaotic week, it was clear this wasn't just another online beef. It was a shift in the power dynamic of hip-hop's digital age. Clout had officially replaced credibility. Receipts had replaced reputation. And Fat Joe, the OG, was now facing the one enemy no rapper can outsmart, the internet itself. As the days turned into weeks, the tension between 6ix9ine and Fat Joe refused to fade. What should have been just another internet story had evolved into a full-blown saga, one that was dragging more and more people into its orbit. Hip-hop wasn't just watching anymore, it was reacting. By now, every major podcast and rap commentary channel had dissected the feud. Some were siding with 6ix9ine, calling him a marketing genius who knew how to flip hate into headlines. Others defended Fat Joe, saying he was an easy target because he represented the old school in an era where controversy rules the algorithm. But the truth was, both men had won in their own way, one through control of attention, the other through control of legacy. And right now, those two forces were clashing in real time. Then came the unexpected twist. Fat Joe's friends started speaking out. Remy Ma, DJ Khaled, and even a few old-school New York legends subtly came to Joe's defense. They didn't attack 6ix9ine directly, but their messages were clear. Khaled posted a cryptic caption on Instagram, "Real ones never explain themselves. Time always exposes the fake." Fans immediately tied it to the feud, flooding his comments with rainbow emojis. Remy Ma went live and said, "Joe don't need to fake anything for attention. People forget he's been feeding families in this game for decades." That statement gave Joe a small wave of support back, but not enough to stop the damage. Every time someone defended him, 6ix9ine would post another screenshot or quote, adding more fuel to the fire. 6ix9ine understood how to manipulate momentum. He wasn't just dropping receipts randomly. He was releasing them like episodes of a show. Each post was timed to hit when Joe's name started fading from the feed. It kept the conversation alive and kept him trending. Every video, every story, every post came with energy, loud, colorful, and unapologetic. At this point, Fat Joe realized silence wasn't going to save him. He decided to speak, but this time differently. Instead of going live or posting an emotional response, he sat down for a long-form interview with a respected journalist. In it, Joe explained that the screenshots were taken out of context, that 6ix9ine had twisted old interactions to make it seem like something it wasn't. He said, "The truth don't always go viral. Lies do. I've been in this game long enough to know how this works." It was calm, mature, and well-delivered. For a moment, people started to reconsider. Some fans said Joe handled it like a pro, refusing to play 6ix9ine's game. But just when it looked like the storm might finally be dying down, 6ix9ine dropped another bomb. 6ix9ine dropped another bomb. Late one night, he posted what looked like a video message, allegedly from years ago, where Fat Joe was seen joking about certain rappers, saying things that didn't age well. The clip spread like wildfire. People clipped and remixed it, adding captions and reaction memes. Whether it was real, edited, or deep-faked didn't even matter. The timing was perfect. Right when Joe was starting to recover, he got dragged right back into chaos. The internet thrives on moments like that. The story wasn't about truth anymore. It was about entertainment. Fans weren't interested in who was right or wrong. They just wanted to see who would fall next. 6ix9ine had turned Joe into content, and content is what keeps the internet spinning. But Joe wasn't going down quietly. Behind the scenes, his team started flagging some of 6ix9ine's posts for defamation and false claims. There were even whispers that legal action might be coming. 6ix9ine, of course, didn't care. He laughed it off publicly, posting memes about getting sued by another rapper who can't handle receipts. The chaos spread beyond music. Late-night hosts joked about it. Reaction YouTubers made compilations. Even fans who had no idea who Fat Joe was began to recognize his face because of the viral clips. It was both hilarious and tragic, a legend's reputation becoming a meme in front of millions. But something unexpected happened next. As the memes peaked, people started realizing something. Fat Joe never really lost his cool. He didn't rant. He didn't threaten. He didn't stoop to 6ix9ine's level. Instead, he carried himself with quiet defiance. That began earning him back some respect. Old school fans started posting comments like, "Say what you want." But Joe handled it like a man. Even some of 6ix9ine's followers admitted, he's not breaking him. Joe's too seasoned for that. 6ix9ine noticed the tone shift. For a moment, the attention wasn't hitting as hard as before. So he tried one more move, teasing a new diss track supposedly inspired by the feud. He posted a snippet on his story with a hook that directly referenced fake OGs getting caught. It was catchy, bold, and pure 6ix9ine energy. Fans went crazy. Within minutes, it was everywhere. But this time, the response wasn't the same. Instead of outrage, people started calling it repetitive. "He's milking the beef," one comment read. "He already won, why keep going?" Another said, "It's getting old now." The shift was subtle but real. For the first time, the internet was bored of the drama, and that's how it happens, fast and brutal. One week you're trending, the next week you're forgotten. 6ix9ine had pushed too hard, too long, and the crowd was ready to move on. The same energy that lifted him was starting to fade. Fat Joe, meanwhile, leaned into the silence. He stopped talking about the beef altogether and focused on positive things, charity events, podcast appearances, motivational clips. Slowly, his name began to detach from the chaos. He didn't erase the damage, but he survived it. And in this era, survival is the biggest win you can get. As time passed, both men went their separate ways publicly, but the scars remained. The hip-hop community learned something deeper from the situation, that in today's digital world, the truth doesn't matter as much as the timing. 6ix9ine had proven that with the right mix of shock, confidence, and controversy, you could bend the internet to your will. But he also showed how quickly the same energy can turn on you. For Fat Joe, it was a lesson in the dangers of silence and pride. Even with a legacy built over decades, one viral post can shake everything. And no matter how respected you are, nobody is immune from public perception. In the end, both men walked away bruised, one reputationally, the other emotionally. But one thing was certain. This feud would live on as one of the wildest moments in recent hip-hop history. Fans would keep replaying it, re-editing it, and debating it long after both had moved on. Because that's what the internet does best. It turns every mistake, every feud, every piece of pain into endless content. And when the cameras stop rolling, when the lives end and the posts disappear, what remains isn't the truth. It's the story. And in this story, both 6ix9ine and Fat Joe became characters trapped in the same digital arena, fighting not for honor, but for relevance. And there you have it, one of the wildest showdowns we've seen in hip-hop this year. 6ix9ine came in swinging, armed with receipts, screenshots, and pure chaos, while Fat Joe tried to hold it down like a veteran who's seen every storm come and go. But after all the smoke, all the trolling, and all the viral madness, one thing's for sure. This feud just reminded everyone how fragile reputation really is in the digital age. Because today, it's not about who tells the truth, it's about who hits post first. And in this battle, both 6ix9ine and Fat Joe learned that once the internet grabs your name, there's no turning back. But now I want to hear from you. Did 6ix9ine really expose Fat Joe? Or was this just another perfectly planned PR stunt to stay relevant? Drop your thoughts below, because trust me, the comments on this one are about to go crazy. And if you've been rocking with me through this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over. The next chapter in this hip-hop war might already be unfolding as we speak. And when it does, you know I'll be here first to break it all down for you. Stay tuned. The drama's just getting started. Getting started.